is I'll get up, put a little wood on the fire, soak in a little heat, get some warmth, and then go back down. Well, good morning, guys. As you can see, we got some snow last night, but I was pretty snug and stayed dry inside my shelter. But it's cold this morning, and I'm gonna have to get a fire going here so I can get some coffee going. I found some nice pieces of pitchwood here, so I'm just going to go ahead and slice them down into some nice little slivers. The nice thing about this pitchwood is, even when it's a little wet, it'll still catch fire. I just had to run down to the spring down there and fill up my bush pot with water. I'm running a little low up here. I can melt some snow, but getting this first full pot so I can get some coffee and some breakfast in me is the critical one. Well, it's snowing pretty good out here now, and I just got to let my fire burn down so I can get some coals and boil my water for the morning. But in the meantime, I'll start kind of buttoning up some of my gear, just so, for two reasons. One, so I don't lose track of it as the snow piles up, but then number two, because it's a pretty decent sized little job. I'm going to see if I can get some coals pulled out here so I can get my bush pot on the fire. So one thing about my inch pack is I try to have a lot of redundancy in it. So for a wilderness survival situation, having lots of different containers to boil and cook in is absolutely imperative. So I've got my titanium coffee cup, I've got my Moore's bush pot, then I've got a 40-ounce clean canteen that's stainless steel, and then I also have this Nalgene stainless steel water bottle. So basically, just all of my water bottles and all of my vessels are all metal, so any of them can be used for boiling, cooking, etc. I also have a bladder in my pack, a big, almost 2-gallon, it's a MSR dromedary bag, the largest size of dromedary bag that I could find. And that lives in there too, so I have almost 3 gallons of water storage capacity in my system. So I'm just getting ready to start packing up, and I thought I'd show you guys my sleep system. So this is my Wiggy's 20-degree bag. It's inside, obviously, a USGI bivy sack. And then for padding, I sleep on the Thermarest Trail Scout. And one of the reasons why I use this Thermarest pad is because it's cut with the corners rounded. It's cut kind of like a mummy shape. And so it fits inside the bivy bag really nice. But this system here, I've slept in down to, not comfortably, but I've slept in down to, 5-10 degrees below zero with a little bit of a heat from the fire. And that's why shelter design is so important, like this design here with a fire reflective wall, a nice long fire, good cover behind me, and this log. And then where I'm sleeping is slightly elevated from the fire, so the heat comes up on me. And I don't get real complicated about my raised bed. I just stake it in good. In this case, I was able to push all of my lengthwise pieces up against that log and then just stake it in here. So this stake right here holds my cross pieces from spreading, and it also holds my lengthwise pieces that I'm actually sleeping on, my sleeping platform, from spreading. So there's a couple of criteria for my inch pack, and one is that it's 4-season compatible, and so that's why it's really important for me to do trips like this in all seasons. But the whole system, the whole pack is designed so that I can just grab it and go, and in a worst case scenario, could actually survive for an extended period of time out in a wilderness or a desert environment like this. So I've got all the things in it, from stuff for hunting and procuring protein to shelter, a couple of different ways of making water safe to drink. I've got a filter system in the pack, a Renovo Trio filter, and I've also got multiple vessels for boiling in. But I wanted to make one point clear that I think is really important, is doing this, taking my survival pack, my inch pack, or what I call my EDLS pack, or extended desert living system, out and testing it out in all the different seasons that I might need to use it in is really important for me. I believe that if you're not doing that, you're not really prepared. Like, if you take all the time to put together an inch pack and you don't go out and try to spend some nights out of it in the different environments that you're planning on using it in, it's all just theory. So there's two really important reasons for doing this in my mind. One is that it lets me know what works, what doesn't work, what things I use, what things I don't use, and allows me to make some decisions about what to keep in that pack. And the other thing that happens as a result of that is I end up getting really familiar with the gear that's in it. The whole idea of knowing where everything is in my pack, being able to set up shelter in daylight, in darkness, in all kinds of adverse weather conditions, and under a little bit of duress, my chances for doing that are greatly increased if I'm familiar with that gear and have used it. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be interesting to see how it all comes together with the weather and everything. I didn't do quite as much filming as I wanted to, but I really appreciate all your support. Hit me up with any questions, comments, and please do take the time to subscribe to my channel. Coyote Works, out.